6:48 is the time this Monday. Back with your top stories you need to know in your Smart Start and some breaking developments from RPD. A man is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after an early morning shooting. Around 1:30, they rushed to J and Hague Streets for the call, and there they found a 38-year-old victim and got him to the hospital. Detectives say they are actively investigating, and as of right now, no one is in custody. 3 teens are facing charges after Rochester police say they led officers on a chase in a stolen car that ended in a crash.
This started last night just before 6:30. Police saw the stolen Hyundai speeding on Epworth Street. Officers began the chase when they say the suspects nearly hit their vehicle. The pursuit ended when the driver flipped the vehicle on its side at Marlborough Road. 2 RPD cars were damaged during the call. Police detained 2 15-year-old boys and a 13-year-old girl. They're expected to be charged with criminal possession of stolen property and unauthorized use of a vehicle. RPD says both the boy who was driving and an officer were injured. They were taken to the hospital for more treatment.
In another case, police are still searching for the suspect in a stabbing from Sunday night. That was around 8:30 off Brown Street. On scene, they found a 34-year-old man wounded. Police note they believe this happened during some sort of a fight. That victim is expected to survive. Officers call this an isolated incident, as it was an argument between 2 people, and they say there's no further cause for concern to that part of the community. Little Bit's Coffee Roasters in Irondequoit is donating proceeds from sales over the weekend to a grieving family.
The money will go to a GoFundMe account to help the parents seriously injured in the Gates crash that claimed the life of their 6-month-old last week. That accident happened Thursday morning at Buffalo and Howard Roads when a driver ran into the back of another SUV. The baby was pulled out of the mangled car and later passed away at the hospital. According to the fundraising account, the parents are still in the hospital after emergency surgery. Little Bit's owner decided to take action and help her friends in need by giving back.
We did have a lot of people just come in just to buy a brewed coffee today with their latte to support the cause, and then they also are putting money in the jar. My husband and I are going to match the price too, just so that we can give them as much as help as possible. Being in the hospital and worrying about finances is it's just not something you want to have to do.
Proceeds will help cover funeral arrangements, medical bills, and any other expenses. The GoFundMe account has already raised nearly $130,000. Police have not released the names of the victims to the public just yet. With no clear end to the war in Iran in sight, there are new questions about just how much the military mission will cost U.S. taxpayers.
The Pentagon is not releasing a lot of details about what it's actually spending currently on the operation in its 2nd week. Both parties, though, members tell us they're hearing estimates that it's as much as $2 billion a day. And the White House is getting ready to ask Congress for $50 billion in a Pentagon funding package that's known as a supplemental request. The Trump administration is also downplaying concerns about U.S. weapon supplies and the associated costs of the war.
Before we even get to the consideration of a supplemental request, let's have the debate about how taxpayer dollars are being wasted right now. Billions spent to bomb the Middle East.
We've got no shortage of munitions. Our stockpiles of defensive and offensive weapons allow us to sustain this campaign as long as we need to.
The president says there's no agreement to end the war without Iran's unconditional surrender.
The Iran war has driven the price of crude oil above $100 a barrel for the first time since 2022. The news sent Asian markets tumbling in early trading today. The national average for a gallon of regular is now about $3.45, up nearly 50 cents over the past week. Leaders from fire departments across New York are taking their concerns about rapidly dwindling volunteer rates to Albany.
They note just over the last year, at least 6 volunteer departments around New York had to shut down because of the current state of staffing levels. David Metzger is a retired fire chief, commissioner, and current volunteer with the fire department in Brighton. He's also the head of recruitment and retention, and that task has proven to become a big challenge year after year. They point to a 40-year fall in volunteer numbers at the current trend today. And when it comes to ways to help not only recruit, but then to retain volunteers who come on board, Metzger reflects on some of the stories from the recent advocacy work they did at the Capitol, including bringing up a range of benefit options for volunteers.
It is an opinion of many that we need the state to help us with a toolbox of options that will help us maintain our volunteers and recruit new volunteers. And we need to work with the state and the Office of Fire Prevention and Control to help with the training standards and to help with reviewing things, to making sure that the time that our new volunteers are spending is being used at the best, and that we have the courses we need to get people qualified to become interior firefighters.
On that note, if you are interested, know someone who might be in volunteering with a department, they say just reach out to your local agency and find out the best way to get started. More than 15,000 public workers in New York gathered in Albany over the weekend, calling on lawmakers to change the Tier 6 pension system.
Teachers, first responders, and other state workers spoke about why they say it isn't fair. Workers say Tier 6 makes it hard to plan for the future, arguing they pay more from each paycheck and have to work longer than older employees to get the same pension. Tier 6 applies to most public workers hired after 2012. Under the system, employees must work until age 63 and up to 40 years of service to qualify for retirement benefits. That's a major difference from Tier 4 workers who only need to work until age 55 with 30 years of service. Union leaders say those changes are making it harder to recruit and keep workers in public service, and they're pushing lawmakers to make the benefits more comparable to previous tiers. Their goal is to change the law so Tier 6 employees have the option to retire at age 55.
We'll see if anything is lumped in with the state budget that's due in a couple of weeks on the 1st. Your sunrise traffic here at 6:54. Still very dark out there from our Greater Rock Sky Eye with the time change getting back to it this week, but there are no accidents across our map. There was an earlier one, 590 up near Titus there in Irondequoit, since been cleared. 390 north and southbound to Henrietta, good to go. And the thruway average drive times from the exit at Victor all the way passing through Leroy and Batavia. The Rochester St. Patrick's Day Parade is coming up later this week on Saturday, featuring more than 100 local groups, including members of our News 8 team, the official sponsor of the parade, so you'll see some familiar faces that are usually on your TV. The parade begins 12:30 sharp. If you can't be there in person this year, we will be streaming that for you live on our homepage and on the Rochester First streaming app.
Today is National Barbie Day, a day to celebrate the toy and its impact on history. On this day in 1959, it made its debut at the Toy Fair in New York. Before Barbie, toys for kids did not have adult features. Barbie also relied on TV advertising and was marketed directly to kids, which was unique at the time. Barbie also had a lot of jobs and adult responsibilities, contributing to her long-lasting appeal.
Despite a lot of criticism, Barbie was really an early feminist. She had a mortgage, she had a career, and she had great fashion. And I think that that was really inspiring for a lot of young girls who didn't necessarily want to play with a baby doll.
You can check out the iconic history at the Strong, which has thousands of artifacts. That's just one way to celebrate. You can dust off your old Barbies if you have them, or enjoy the Barbie movie.
Lots of options for you there. Or take them with you outside. You got to do something outdoors this afternoon here, James. Yeah.
For sure. Go to the beach.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah, somewhere snow.
Open, right?
Yeah.
Nice to see that there. We've got temperatures that are going to surge well over 20 degrees above average. Today's the best day of the week, sunshine. I know we do have some clouds right now, and sunrise is at 7:33, so maybe we get a little bit of a show over the next hour or so. And then some rain showers coming in tomorrow, likely in the afternoon, and then Wednesday, showers, thunderstorms. And there's that cold blast from the 60s to the 20s there for you, and then consistently cold, probably through the 25th, the 26th, something like that. 10 to 14 days of at or below average.
Oh, man. At that point, getting closer and closer to Easter and the start of April. 9 o'clock, we'll see you for the podcast. Second cup of sunrise. Myself, James, and a local dietitian. Gonna teach us what we should and should not be having. It's National Nutrition Month. Of course, there's protein, there's creatine, fiber. I've seen a lot of talk about that. We're going to ask a lot.
High fructose corn syrup.
It's just the place to be. I'll come up with them and I'll
Sure, send it our way. We'll see you then. CBS Morning starts at 7.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 on demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.